November 28th, 2021. Just thinking I got a memory of Benjamin, Daniel and Alexander Benjamin in kindergarten when he started Duffield, when we had to leave Virginia and come back to New York, in Ronkonkoma. They offered Boy Scouts, which I immediately signed Ben up for. We went out, I didn't know anything about it, but I knew that it was really, really important for him. And so we signed him up, or I signed him up. But even at I don't know, it was the Boy Scouts recruiting. We had to go to the school. It was a large cafeteria. I don't remember the details of it, but even that night I was having trouble because it was so unfamiliar. It was nothing that I had ever been introduced to. Boy Scouts was not something I grew up around. The boys that I went to elementary school with, I don't know if they had Boy Scouts in Cold Spring Harbor and Lloyd Harbor. I really don't know. It's not something that I know that they were trying to do daisies for the girls, but they couldn't find moms to participate. That much I remember, because I was really excited about that. I wanted my mom to sign me up, but she couldn't because they had to cancel it. But when it was Benjamin's turn, immediately I wanted to participate. I just didn't know how, but I knew that it was integral and really super important, being that we had just moved back from Virginia. And I have to think about this. And I tried to keep Benjamin in as much as I could. I remember Unger was the den mom in the neighborhood, but it was hard because I only had a babysitter for a few hours during the day when I was doing real estate. Or at that time, I think I just had Alex, so I didn't even have a babysitter. So I had to bring Alex and Danny with me, but then it made participation between mom and son difficult, and I really didn't know anybody, nor would I trust anybody with Alexander or Daniel at that point. So that then became difficult. I tried to stay as long as I could within it, but then I think there was something that happened, and then they said that they wouldn't be able to continue, or I said I wouldn't be able to continue if the rules changed to only Benjamin, or I'd have to drop Benjamin off and go back home and wait. That I was willing to do with the mom from the Boy Scouts, but I couldn't leave the younger two children. That was not something that I was definitely not happening. I know that's really important because I remember there was a lot of really comforting energy in the room with things that I was not I was uncomfortable because I felt out of place, but it was a very homey type network of comfort because the adults knew what their roles were, and even though I was completely out of place, I found comfort in their ability to lead the room, the kids, and me in learning something that was outside of my comfort zone, but I knew I needed. So I think whoever gave that effort in Ronkonkoma when we first moved there, or moved back to New York, I don't remember if Jason was present or not. I can't remember. Wouldn't have mattered. Normally I went places without him all the time with the kids. I have to think about this. So, star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. and it is Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies broken. But as I was speaking to some of the people to try to find out, like, I would get lost, I would zone out in their conversation because they just knew like a rock what was supposed to be, and I knew if I wasn't writing it down and I didn't file it somewhere for me to reference back to, my short-term memory, like by the time they stopped talking, it became difficult to hold a memory in Ronkonkoma at that time. It's not always the case. It is with certain information within this situation that I've been held within in the state of New York, with a quantum state that I was not even aware existed, that now I'm speaking to get to a quintessential importance, because I feel like quantum state is all I have at the moment in order to communicate what I can and what I can't still connect with in memory, because there's more serious weather and acclimate things going on. Today being the day that I saw a movie about ARS, acute radiological syndrome or sickness, with my knees swollen and I can barely walk. I'm hobbling down. I mean, I did a lot of motion today, a lot of walking to try to bring my weight down because I keep blowing up with no good reason. I mean, I'm exercising, but it's like I'm taking on extra weight and I don't know why, from either the atmosphere or the environment, because it's not necessarily